everyone, it's Chris Langton here and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why your gym's lead quality might be poor in 2023 and what you can do to actually fix that. So clearly this might be one of the problems that your gym is facing that is stunting its growth, and that's why it's important that we take a look at this issue. I see a lot of gyms struggling to get, prospects in the door that are qualified and that actually are looking to invest in their services. Sometimes people are just coming in looking for a free trial. I completely understand that. So that's why we're going to look into how we can tackle this problem. So if you're not familiar with me, you're not familiar with the channel, my name's Chris and I help gyms to scale and grow so that they can ultimately reach and impact more lives and also run a profitable business on the back end behind all of that. So without further ado, let's dive right into the topic. Okay, so I think first things first, it's useful to define what a lead actually is. So a lead is someone who actually has pain that you can alleviate, that your services can alleviate, that has indicated some form of interest in your service, right? So that has to happen first. And the quality of that lead is typically defined by the actions that they take after they opt in, right? So whether or not they book an appointment. If they book an appointment, great. If they don't, they're a bad lead or they're a poor quality lead, okay? Okay, so have they opted in? Yes. Have they booked an appointment? Yes. Okay, did they show up for their appointment? If they showed up for their appointment, good. If they didn't show up for their appointment, they're a bad lead. They're a bad quality lead. Okay, they showed up for their appointment, they booked, they showed up. Did they buy? Oh, they didn't buy. Bad lead quality. So along each step of the way of them opting in, of them booking an appointment, of them showing up, and of them eventually deciding to invest in your service or not, if that answer is no at any point, something in your mind is going to go, well, the lead quality was bad. And all of those actions that the lead takes actually depends on, one, the pain that the lead was already in, the existing pain that they have. How badly do they actually want to do something about their health and fitness, right? If they are extremely healthy and extremely fit, that means they have very low pain. It's going to be difficult for you to try to offer your services to a lead like that, right? So the first thing is the pain that they're already in. And the second thing is something called their action threshold. So it's difficult to control the pain of a prospect. You can think of this kind of like fishing, right? If you're casting a net, right, you're going to catch maybe all kinds of fish. You can't really control which fish you're going to catch, but you do have control of the net, right? So if you cast a very, very wide net, you're going to catch all sorts of different kinds of fish. You're going to get all sorts of prospects that are in different pain strata or different pain levels, right? But if you cast maybe a slightly smaller net, a specialized kind of net in a specialized kind of area of the sea, you might have a higher likelihood of catching the same kind of homogeneous group of fish that are in a lot of pain, and that's kind of what you want to do. So that is referencing the offers that you're going to be running in, let's say, paid ads or any kind of marketing that you're doing. And the action threshold is basically a level of confidence that the prospect needs to have in order to move forward with you, right? So they are confident enough that your service is right for them, that it's going to work, that it's going to actually change their life. They're confident enough to take action, right? And below that point, they are too doubtful about it. They're still not sure. So there's kind of two ways to go about this, and I've seen both of them work actually. So one of those ways is, like I said, casting a huge net and just catching all sorts of different kinds of prospects. Some of them that are looking to come in for a free trial, just a free workout, and then some of them that maybe are in more pain, right? So I've seen people cast this huge net, and if they have a really, really solid sales system and they have a solid sales team maybe, then it actually works really well because they can still close pretty well on that big group of people that come into their facility for the workouts, right? So that's one option if you have a very robust sales system and you're extremely confident in your ability to have people walk into your facility who maybe weren't even thinking about signing up remotely, but they leave so wowed and just ready to commit to your service. So what that sort of big net method focuses on is less of the pain of the prospect and more actually on the action threshold of the prospect. Because like I said, if you have really robust sales systems, that can work, right? And that's because that is what's going to give the prospect the confidence they need, right, past that action threshold to take action and move forward with you. It's going to come from the conversation that you have with them when they come in about their goals, about why it hasn't worked in the past, what they've tried, and why with you it's going to be different. All right, so that's where you have a degree of control over the influence of a prospect's action threshold. So that big net methodology is for people that want to focus more on the action threshold. They're really confident with their sales. So if you're in the position as a gym owner where you can say to yourself honestly, okay, maybe I don't have the sales systems that it takes to close consistently a bunch of people that are just coming in for, say 7-day free trials, right? If you don't feel confident to do that, that's fine. So you can focus more on getting prospects that are already in more pain so that you have to do less work on the back end, or rather on the sales end of things, to dig up that pain and give them that high level of confidence that they need, or they might need, in order to take action. So that would mean, in the context of, let's say, paid ads, that would mean running ads with headlines that perhaps don't use the word free, that perhaps are talking about very specialized programs for specific groups of people, that can really tap on the people in the market that are actually in the most pain and that are actually willing to come in expecting something valuable from you, right? Expecting a valuable service and not expecting something free, but rather something that they can invest in that's actually going to fix their problem. Now, the next part of lead quality, and I cannot stress this enough, but it's between those actions of do they book and do they actually show up, right? We talked about this action chain of opting in, booking the appointment, showing up, and then eventually buying, right? So in between those two actions is where everything kind of falls apart, right? So this is extremely important. A couple of mistakes that gym owners always make in these two actions is they feel like they don't want to follow up too many times. They feel like they're going to be annoying the prospects, or on the flip side of that, they feel like the prospects should be doing the work to book themselves in and to make sure that they show up for an appointment because they're adults, right? They should be showing up at a time and a place that they have indicated that they're going to be there, right? So just think about this for one quick second. When is the last time that you clicked on a Facebook ad and that actually resulted in you showing up at some place for an appointment, right? For me, it's zero, right? So I don't know when the last time that was for you, but it's rare, right? So just think about it from that perspective of this might be the first or second time this person has ever clicked an ad in their life, right? It's our duty to do that follow-up. They have given us, by opting in, they have given us the permission to pursue them, right? And to say, hey, I noticed that you indicated interest in my services. I just wanted to follow up with you because I think that we can really help you. So whether you're doing the big net strategy or you're doing the little net strategy, I promise you, if you do what I'm about to tell you next, your problems with lead quality or your idea of your leads being bad is actually going to go away pretty much forever. Okay, so this is really, really important. Regardless of what strategy you're doing, the moment the lead opts in, the day that they opt in, you got to call them at least 3 times, right? You got to call them at least 3 times, you got to text them, and you got to email them. So you have 3 channels that we're reaching them at the same time when their memory is the freshest, which is the day that they opted in, right? And then on day 2, again, we're going to call them maybe twice. We're still going to text them, we're still going to email them as well, right? So, and when I say call for all of these instances, I'm not saying you call them once and then, okay, voicemail, put it down. You got to double dial because a lot of the time people actually have their phone on do not disturb, or they have some kind of feature where unknown calls don't go through on the first dial. So a lot of phones have this feature now. So you actually got to double dial to get through to the actual person before they even see that the phone is ringing, that they can pick it up, right? So double dial 3 times on the first day, text and email. Second day, double dial twice, text and email. Third day, double dial twice, text and email, etc. Right? It goes on, but that is the most important part of this process, to get them to actually speak with you, say, hey, I noticed that you opted in for our program, maybe over Facebook or over Instagram or wherever the ad is running. And look, we're really excited to have you here. We just want to know when you'd like to come by, something like that. And again, why are we doing this? It's because we have the obligation to do this, right? The people that have opted in, that have shown that they're interested in your service, they still have lives going on. They've got, jobs, they've got everything, they've maybe got kids that they need to take care of. They have so many things going on in their life. We can't expect that your services are going to be at the top of their priority list of what they want to get done today or what they want to get done this week even, right? So it's our obligation to just remind them, hey, you indicated interest. I'm just doing my due diligence to follow up with you. I really think that we can change your life. So does it sound like a lot of work to personally text, email, and call these leads, every single one of them personally every day? Yeah, it's a lot of work, right? But unfortunately, we're living in a world right now where everything, attention is a really valuable resource, right? And everything is vying for the attention of your prospects, right? We have to be doing the most, right? We really have to be doing the most to get their attention because there are so many other things, social media, the news, whatever it may be, that's trying to get their attention more. So just to recap, opting in is a matter of big net versus little net, right? This is just a way that you can think about it. Obviously, it's less binary than this, but opting in is big net, little net, right? Big net means that you are banking on the fact that you have a little bit of a better sales process over here, right? And then little net is you want it to be slightly easier, right, on this back end, right? And then so that's the opting in part of the action chain. And then in between you have the booking and the following up, and that is purely a function of how much you do to make sure that these people book and that these people follow up, right? So that is mostly going to be on you or on whoever you have hired to take care of that process for you, right? And then so now the last part is going to be whether or not they buy. So when people talk about lead quality at this part of the action chain, it's basically about whether or not they invest, whether or not they buy your services, right? Now I'm gonna hurt a few egos here, all right? But the sooner you as the gym owner can stop blaming the lead for not buying, right, the sooner your problems in this area are going to go away. Okay, and what I mean by that is sales is just an exchange, right? It's an exchange of emotions, it's an exchange of information, right? And at the end of the day, between you and between your prospect, it's either them buying your services or you buy their excuses. Okay, that's basically it. Because again, especially if you're running a more small net offer, a lot of these people that eventually do show up at your gym, they are actually in enough pain, right? They just need you to give them enough confidence past their action threshold that this is actually the right decision for them and that you are going to be the one that does things differently for them, that it finally works and that their life is actually going to change. So I think you can see where I'm going with this, but we can tell from what we've just gone through, from all of these stages that we've gone through and the actions necessary for a lead to become an actual paying member with you, okay, we can tell that lead quality doesn't actually exist, right? The only thing that exists is the quality of your acquisition system, right? The quality of your gym's acquisition system that is going to be first, the quality of your offer, right? The quality of your advertising, the quality of your marketing, right? And then the quality of your follow-up process that takes those opt-ins to actually show up at your gym. And then lastly, the quality of your sales process, the quality of your sales system, right? And all of these things put together are your gym's acquisition system. And the only thing that exists is the quality of that. Lead quality, or asking what's wrong with the leads, is not really the right question to ask. What we should really be asking is what's wrong with the parts of the system that we can actually control, okay, which is going to be what your gym does to take those leads again into paying members. So I hope you found this video useful, and I will be going into further details about different parts of a gym's acquisition system and how we can really dive into those parts and fix them. So that will be coming in later videos. If you'd like to see that, then just do the usual like, comment, subscribe, whatever. And yeah, that's everything for this video. And if you're struggling with anything that I talked about in this video and you think that you might want some help or that I might be able to help you, you can always just check out the link in the description below. Not forcing you to do that, only if you want to and only if you think that we might be able to help you. So yeah, that's everything. And I really appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, take care.